Good evening, you're watching the English news from the Sultan of Oman television. First, the headlines. As per royal orders of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Sultanate, in coordination with the Yemeni authorities, finds one of Vatican government employees. His Highness Said Asad bin Tariq Al Said receives the excellences, the ambassadors of the United Kingdom and South Africa, accredited to the Sultanate. And the rural areas electricity company signs 2 agreements for Dhofar wind power projects. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. As per royal orders of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the competent authorities in the Sultanate, in cooperation with the Yemeni authorities, found one of Vatican government employees in fulfillment of his request. He was transferred this morning from Yemen to Muscat in preparation for his return journey to his country. Tom Uzunani expressed his utmost thanks to Allah the Almighty. He also forwarded his thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the Sultan, wishing him good health and welfare. He also thanked his family members, relatives and friends who prayed to Allah to bring him home safe and sound. His Highness Said Asad bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the International Relations and Cooperation and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, received in his office today His Excellency Andrew John Hawke, Ambassador of the United Kingdom to the Sultanate. During the meeting, they reviewed the good bilateral relations binding the Sultanate and the United Kingdom and means of supporting them in various fields, in addition to a number of issues with mutual concern. His Highness Said Asad bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, received in his office today His Excellency Manabili Shogoli, Ambassador of South Africa to the Sultanate. Good relations binding the Sultanate and South Africa and means of improving them in various fields were reviewed, in addition to a number of issues of mutual concern. Rural Areas Electricity Company has signed the agreement for the Dhofar wind power project in the presence of officials from the Sultanate and United Arab Emirates. Here's a report.
The 50-megawatt wind energy project will be built on a total area of 1,900 hectares based in Futkhet at Wilaya of Shalim and Halaniyat Islands in the Governorate of Dhofar. The project is considered a turning point in clean energy projects in the Gulf region. The Dhofar wind power project will produce 160,000 megawatt-hour per year of electricity to fulfill the needs of around 16,000 houses once operated in the third quarter of 2019. The project has entered the phase of construction in line with the signing of its implementation agreements, which include the power purchase agreement with Oman Power and Water Procurement Company and the power connection agreement along with Dhofar main grid with Oman Electricity Transmission Company, as well as the engineering, procurement and construction works with Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company Masdar. The project will contribute in avoiding the release of 110,000 tons per year of carbon dioxide by installing 13 wind turbines to generate clean energy. It will further contribute in training national cadres and provide job opportunities and promote the total production capacity of electricity in the main network in the Governorate of Dhofar by depending on the average wind speed at the project site between 7 and 8 meters per second.
The Omani company Wang Fang signed a memorandum of understanding with Chinese Petrochemical and Chemicals Industry Federation CPIF. The memorandum was signed at the Chinese city of Shanghai and came at the end of the promotional campaign, which was implemented by the Special Economic Zone Authority in Duqm, SEZD, in 3 Chinese cities. The campaign entitled Invest in Duqm aimed to promote for special economic zone in Duqm and attract Chinese companies working in petrochemical sector to invest in Duqm. The three-day campaign aimed at acquainting Chinese businessmen with the strategic location and potentials that the special economic zone enjoy. It as well aimed to acquaint Chinese business community with incentives and facilities that SAZED renders to investors. It's worth mentioning that the Chinese investment volume in Duqm exceeded $10 billion US. Still to come, our news bulletin. The Academic Cooperation Convention is signed between the Education College in Rostock and Al Brem University, aimed to introduce new disciplines to keep pace with the labor market requirements. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Omani Women Empowerment Forum was held in the Governorate of Muscat. The forum discussed a number of topics, including financial intelligence, entrepreneurs, personal finance management, and leadership, administrative as well as social empowerment. It also focused on a number of success stories for Omani and Kuwaiti women entrepreneurs and to introduce the Yasmin Initiative. The forum is organized by Al Ra'ya newspaper in cooperation with Kuwait Virgin International Markets. The forum is part of the Yasmin training program to empower women in the business sector and economically. The General Assembly of Investment Stabilization Fund announced that the fund was restructured to be Oman Development Fund. The fund seeks to achieve a number of goals, such as providing liquidity in Muscat securities market. The fund managed to achieve balance and regain investors' trust and became one of the main stable markets in the Gulf. In 2015, and under the surveillance of Capital Market Authority, the Investors Committee in Muscat securities market held a meeting to study the situation and restructuring of Oman Development Fund, in addition to changing the trends and goals. One of the main goals of the fund is to achieve revenues. The fund will float a tender to manage its investment portfolio in the coming days. The guest revenues recorded an increase in the general revenue by 12.5% compared during the first half of 2017 compared to the same period in 2016. The guest revenue reached more than 682 million Omani Riyals during the last 6 months. By the end of 2017, Al Khazan field will begin its actual production for local consumption and exporting. The production is expected to reach 7 trillion cubic feet of gas, which in return will reflect positively on the national economy. The Technical Joint Committee concerned with urban planning held its 12th meeting of the year. It focused on investment and economical projects. The governorates of Muscat, South Al-Batna, Al-Dhafar and Musandam. During the meeting, the committee also discussed topics related to land usage and schemes. The meeting was headed by His Excellency Engineer Saif bin Amr Al-Shakhsi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Housing, Chairman of the committee. Activities of the evaluation of prototype of eligible project on the level of the governorates of South and North Al-Sharqiyya continued at the competition of the Chamber Award for Innovation. Standards of evaluating the prototypes are based on a number of aspects such as innovation and excellence concepts, building models, and the plan to transform innovation into a final product. Curriculum development and reviewing joint academic programs in the bachelor's degree stage of educational disciplines were aspects revealed by the Academic Cooperation Convention between higher education institutions in the public and private sectors. The convention signed between the Education College in Rostaq, represented by the Minister of Higher Education, and the Al-Brahim University, aims at introducing new disciplines to keep pace with the requirements of the labor market. Spreading first aid culture and skills are the main aims at Ashraf team, which launched a new project reflecting the essence via various programs. The event was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Awad bin Abdullah Al-Mandari, Wali of Ja'lan Bani Muhassan. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai.
My City is a helper project considered as a way to introduce first aid culture, which organized by Traffic Safety Committee in the Wilaya of Ja'lan Bani Hassan. It aims to reach social cooperation and to spread awareness about how to deal with various accidents such as roads and homes.
We are as a team going to introduce the principles of first aid in the community. One of our projects is Madinati Mus'ifa. This project is under the safety road competition. The main aim of this project is to train more than 3,000 persons in Bibi Hassan about the principles of safety road, principle of first aid, and the principles of personal and general safeties.
The project launching event included an exhibition showcasing the most important programs of ASRF team, representing the relationship between first aid culture and traffic safety, as well as an interactive workshops about first aid.
I get many new information, and I learn many new things. Really, I am very happy for being in this team.
School students were there witnessing the launch of this project to gain basic skills of first aid, such as how to deal with fractures, burns, and wounds, in order to create a generation able to deal with these situations in the future, where having first aid skills is significant in any society as it could save lives. Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai, South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate.
Qatar's Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdurrahman Al Thani met with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan today in Ankara amid a diplomatic dispute surrounding the Gulf country. Last week, leaders in Qatar and Saudi Arabia spoke by telephone in their first high-level contact since the Arab diplomatic crisis engulfed Doha 3 months ago. The Qatar crisis began on June 5th with the 4 nations, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, cutting off Doha's land, sea, and air routes over Israel's support of extremists. Qatar has denied funding extremists and recently restored full diplomatic relations with Iran, with whom it shares a massive offshore natural gas field. North Korea's top envoy to United Nations disarmament today said his country categorically rejected new Security Council resolution imposing strict sanctions on the reclusive country. Ambassador Han Tai-song also lashed out at the United States during a plenary session of the UN's Conference on Disarmament, saying his country denounced Washington's evil intention and would make sure the U.S. pays a due price. The comments today came as North Korea faced renewed criticism of its ballistic missile and nuclear weapons tests at the Geneva-based body. Peru's envoy Maria Antonio Massana Garcia said North Korea's ambassador to her countries would be considered persona non grata. U.S. Ambassador Robert Wood hailed the tough Council solution sanctions, saying the international community will never accept North Korea as a nuclear weapon state. And finally, German manufacturers have again made a strong showing at the Frankfurt Motor Show with Daimler AG Mercedes-Benz luxury brand, Munich-based BMW, AG and Volkswagen, all maintaining a major presence. Some 1,000 exhibitors will show off 300 premieres in the 200,000 square meters of space available at the show, with Chinese brand Wei and Chery exhibiting for the first time. However, increasingly car makers are finding other ways to unveil new models at auto shows, and this had led to fewer brands is exhibiting at this year's show. Volkswagen's Porsche showed off its new Cayenne SUV at an extravagant event on August 29th with the Bohemian Symphony Orchestra. Prague and dancers live streamed from the homes based in Stuttgart, Zuffenhausen. Small SUVs remain a popular category for new vehicles. Car buyers like the higher seating position, while car makers save development cost by putting new body style on top of the mechanical components they've already paid to develop for compact cars. Now for the general forecast around the Sultanate. Partly cloudy skies with rain over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and nearby mountains with chances of intermittent drizzle. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of scattered rainfalls over the higher mountains, and winds will be southerly to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight to the maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultan of Oman television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. As per royal orders of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Sultanate, in coordination with Yemeni authorities, finds one of Vatican government employees. His Highness Sayyid Asad bin Tariq Al Said received the excellencies the ambassadors of the United Kingdom and South Africa accredited to the Sultanate. And rural areas electricity company signs 2 agreements for the Dhofar wind power projects. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, thanks for your time. Good night.